Top of the morning to you, YouTube. We are having some fun today. I am excited to film a camping trip with my Cybertruck and the new roof rack and roof tent system. So we got this thing all decked out and we're gonna go check it out. We're gonna go do a camping trip. So it's about 7:30 here in the morning on the 35, having some coffee. Here we are, we've got some of it ready to go. I'm just packing it in here, but I've got these neat, clever made containers, which I've labeled and I've started putting all my stuff in. It really helps you keep organized. So I will be taking you guys along for the ride with me. This is gonna be fun, and I can't wait to see you guys at the camp spot. See you there.
No, you fall.
Watch out! Watch out! The rock out! Watch out!
Hey guys, we're getting ready to go. Just wanted to show you real quick what we've got here. We've got my Goal Zero little solar lights over here. These lanterns are pretty cool. And here's our best buddy we're gonna take with us today. We got our Rotopax half full of water, we're only going for a night. I've strapped down some wood in the back. These are kind of neat. I needed to order a new bungee that's a net that you can just net over this, so that's coming. But for now, we got everything strapped down. Everything's fitting inside the Cybertruck. All right, guys, hop in. Let's go for a ride and do some camping together. We're gonna go ahead and just go right into off-road mode. There's no need, we're all already by my property, so off-road mode can be enabled. Let's get into park here. Confirm. We're gonna do Baja, so we're gonna be moving a little fast. Road's gonna be smooth for now. We can change as we go along. Man, it looks like everything is looking good here. Let's go ahead and another thing we're gonna do is power up our Starlink so we can have some internet on the ride. And keep an eye on the wood a little bit just to make sure nothing gets loose back there while we're riding. Won't drop any wood on the ground. I think we're gonna move up to rugged now. Looks like we still have all our wood. I'd much rather have the entire net. That makes sure nothing gets lost. He did wave. I don't think he saw me because I'm in the Ninja truck. It's so quiet, people just don't hear me coming. And I love that because, man, my neighbor all the way down at the bottom, they start their Dodge diesels and I'm just like, who's coming up my driveway, you know? But they're just starting them in their driveway, and it just is so obnoxiously loud, and I'm just over it. I'm so for the future of quiet vehicles. I'm not about all the noise, you know, that was when I was a kid. We're gonna go into Overland here, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna set the cruise control, and we're gonna put it at like 2 miles an hour, and we're gonna shift to the frontal view, and we're just gonna let the oh, look at this. You have like a zoomed. Look at that. That's neat. So now I can see what's actually behind me, my cargo, and the front. That is cool. Half a mile an hour, you just roll this up, and I'm gonna let the truck just crawl up this slowly, and it'll take its time, and I don't have to worry about it at all. Pretty neat. All right, we're getting up here a little bit. Let's go back to overland mode. We got some high stuff to crawl over. Let's go very high, and we're gonna bring the truck up to 14, almost 15 inches here, and that way we don't drag our wood pile on the back or anything like that. So nice. You can hear it skidding a little bit, but nothing's dragging. Pretty neat. I love the ability to adjust the suspension on this truck. To be able to raise it up and down is nothing I've ever had before, and it just makes this thing so cool. You know, I'm just a gadget freak. I mean, I remember watching what is it, Inspector Gadget. I just remember that as a kid, and how he had all these cool things he could shoot out of his hands, and you know, it just was always cool to me. I loved gadgets. I had the first like Casio like typing watches. I was just so cool. I just loved all that. Had this really advanced like card thing I could type on, and I just remember that. I remember the first Zelda game ever made for Nintendo. I've gone from, you know, back when there was really no electronics at all to now these advanced supercomputers in our hands, right? It's been a heck of a change, and I'm hearing advanced cameras and YouTube, and wow, it's just pretty neat. So back to Baja. I'll keep her in rugged. The pedal immediately changes, guys. So based on what setting you're in, the pedal will adjust. You'll have more throttle or less throttle. It'll take more pedal to get more work done in certain modes. It's really neat how Tesla has just adapted everything in the truck. The braking, the acceleration, the suspension, the locking rear and front differentials, the off-road modes. It's just really neat. And wade mode, you know, one of these days we're gonna have to go through some streams and creeks, and let's see, we got to get the wade mode activated. We'll do it. Here we go. We're getting back here. The road's gonna smooth out a bit as we make this turn. All right, we're in Baja. Let's go. We're gonna smooth it back out, drop our suspension a bit, just give us a little more play. Wow, there are a ton of groundhogs out. Run all over the place. Let's go. Hang on. This is fun. This little area here you can really get going on. That's a good time. Because you know, if you guys go do any serious 4x4, you're supposed to take your mud flaps off. They do drop down quite a bit and they can get ripped off. And they are just plastic, which is good, because if they do get ripped off, they're easy to replace and they don't damage your truck. And I think you're just better off in overland mode when you go into those slow spots, because Baja is really for when you're hauling butt, and it does not stop when you let off the pedal all the way. And you know, driving a Cybertruck, you get really used to that. You get really used to it. Now there's some camping over here. That's actually a campground, Comanche Peak. But first of all, I'm gonna go look at Lost Lake. Now here's another advantage, guys, to having your Starlink on your Cybertruck. You can actually, if you don't have LTE and you do have your Starlink, you can keep your nav updated no matter where you go. Eventually it will connect to the Wi-Fi. Lost Lake is just about 10 minutes up the road. And that's floored, guys. That's pedal to the floor, just so you know. So go back to Baja. Now we got all kinds of fun. That's got to lower itself first, and then it'll let you get going. See, there we go. Now we got all kinds. Whoa. Got to simmer down now. So much fun how you can get between Baja and Overland, and the different ride heights, the different abilities that you can do. I love how the truck, I mean, it's, God, so much fun to just switch between modes. Oh, the regen mode here. So when you're in Baja, you can pick aggressive regen, and boy, is it fun. It is aggressive, and I love it. It will really slow you down fast, so you can really be just like hauling butt, let off the pedal, gives you a quick slow down, off you go again, just gives you that real fun, responsive feel. Man, this thing is just such a beast. If you want to come out and just have a blast, this thing will take off like a rocket. Now I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose any of my wood, but this stuff, look at this. This thing is just, wow, so much fun. I mean, you'll absolutely love the power and the torque. I'm gonna send a text message and let everybody know I'm at Lost Lake. We're riding at 14 inches of ground clearance, so there's only one level higher than this, guys, which would be extract. But it's riding very smooth for 14 inches. And there's people out on the lake hanging out. That's pretty cool. Some spring skiing! Exclamation point. It's like my brother is up skiing right now. It's crazy. I thought that was over with. It's 60 degrees here. Hey guys, we're at camp and I'm excited. This is a new one I haven't been to yet. My goodness, we got some ground clearance going on right here. My goodness, huh? And underneath the truck, there's nothing.
Oh yeah. All those arms are coming down, but look how they don't stick out much though. They come down and there's still a lot of height. Then there's skid plates underneath those. Everything is armored under here. And you get the truck that way. Very impressive. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's lower the truck down so we can actually work out of it. Show you guys that. We're going to take it out of the 4x4 mode, which, you guys, it does stay in that mode until you take it out. The only way I really know how to do is go back to your settings and go to dynamics and go to your custom. Oops, I just clicked something. Go to your dynamics, custom. That's going to drop you out of 4-wheel. Now, you should have control. It says it's in very high right now. We're going to drop it down to entry. Isn't that nice, guys? So I want to show you guys around our campsite here. Unfortunately, people do leave trash, broken glass, propane bottles that are full of propane, and apparently this one is leaking. So we're going to handle the trash for them. We're also going to go ahead and take care of this glass that's on the ground because, you know, we got Mr. Giz out here. Who doesn't bring their best friends and their dogs? And then you got to worry about them stepping in glass. So first thing I do when I get to camp is I clean. But isn't that nice? You can just lower that truck down and now everything's easy to get to. But I had all that height when I needed it. Absolutely love it versus just having a high truck all the time that's hard to work out of. You know what I mean? So check out the spot we're in. Give you guys a quick tour. I see some trash in here. Colorado was known for how beautiful it was. And then you get stuff like this in beautiful spots. So why not just pick it up, put it in a bag, and we're good. I like wearing my boots when I go out in the woods like this. You know, if there's ever a snake, we do have rattlesnakes here. If there was ever a snake, you know, we would, at least I would be better protected with the leather on the boots. You know, this seems pretty dangerous. I'm not sure. Somebody probably did that. That's, you're going to be walking through here at night and you're going to get hurt. So it's good to remember things that can hurt you in the middle of the night. Ooh, look at this. We got our first little flowers of cactus. That's neat. Here it comes. Springtime is here in the mountains. Hey guys, I wanted to show you how smooth the Cybertruck is. Everything was where I left it. I've only taken the strap off of this, but none of this was strapped. I was able to leave my EcoFlow power supply back here powering my bougie RV Aspen 40 Pro cooler, which has dual zones, which has freezer and fridge options, which you can switch between the two. Pick whichever one you want. Eco mode here, I'll show you guys more of this later. But this thing is awesome. It's got lights in there and everything. You don't have to worry about having ice with you. I've got a 200 watt panel I'm going to charge my power supply with, but I wanted to show you guys a sneak peek inside here. Isn't that cool? This is my own little fort almost with this tent on top. It's just blocking everything. And I was able to have the tonneau closed, you know, so everything stayed nice and dry. And I'll tell you one more trick though. If you're really going down some really dusty roads, take a towel and put it right here in the seam of the tailgate. I did some backer rod, whatever you like. That'll keep any dust from getting into the back because that area is not sealed. And I get why. It's just, you gotta have a place to drain and things like that. But I like how I can open my tailgate and now I have like a double step. I can step here and I can step right on in. Check out the carbon fiber tent top. Isn't this neat? Man, this is nice. This is exciting to actually sleep in this for the first time. This is inspired by Overland, and I'll put a link in the description of this video about this. I'll put a link in the description of everything, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek of getting in here and getting set up. So you probably all haven't seen me with the old cowboy hat on yet, have you? Well, I only wear it when I need it, keep the sun off my head, or just out working in the property. But I want to show you guys what I'm setting up here. Keep the sun off my ears. You're getting older, you got to keep the sun off your ears. We're going to plug in black to black, red to red. These are water resistant. I'd say almost waterproof. Then we got a lot of cord here, so we're going to be able to plug in to our power supply, which has our battery packs in it. And we're going to set it over here. And we're going to go ahead and plug it into the back. You can see all the nifty different cables they give you. Mine just needs this yellow one, I believe. Yep, there we go. And look at all these adapters it comes with. So you've got all that as well. We'll just throw that back in the pouch, zip that up. Nice. Now let's see what kind of power we're getting. Look at this. It says it's going to be fully charged in 2 hours. We're getting 126, 120 watts out of the 200 watt panel. Now here's the cool part. What we're going to do next, of course, because you want to keep your cooler in the shade, let's power the cooler from the EcoFlow. So it comes with one that has the regular AC adapter to DC, that 120 volt you would plug in. You could do that in the Cybertruck. I could even do it on this unit. But since we're dealing with DC power, I think it's best that we stick to DC power, because we do have a loss when we convert from DC to AC. So I pick up rocks when I get out on the sites to keep people from tripping.
No, you fall.
Watch out!
Watch out!
The rock!
Watch out!
And then my dog thinks it's something to go chase. He's funny. Okay, somewhere, there it is. I have an adapter from a cigarette lighter, which this would be DC power, to the Bougie RV charging port. So let's go ahead and plug that in. And then we see we got to get a little bit closer. So just back this guy up. We're going to pull this plug out of there and plug it in. There we go. Push this little power button on. So not only do we have Cybertruck power of 9,500 watts, 240 or 120, 2 outlets in the back, 2 more outlets in the cab. This is just a more sensible way to do it, because now the truck can sleep. We're auto leveling. Cool. And it does still say it's leveling. I can hear the pump coming on. And I did try this a little bit ago, and it reached a maximum suspension point, and it said that it couldn't, basically it reached the maximum. So here's neat stuff. Look at this. You got controls for the lights up here. No way. That is cool. I've never noticed that. And of course you got your bed lights. 3 levels for bed lights. How neat. Gives you 3 control of your lights. Now hopefully it'll say leveled here. I'm just giving it a minute to see if we're going to reach actual level. So walk away door lock, that's turned off. Outlets are turned on. Okay, it says we reached the leveling limit. We didn't get level. So this might not be a good spot either. Let's go out and take a look. Oh yeah, I guess I can see the front's way up in the air, the back's all the way down, and we're not quite level. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this spot. I do like this spot. It looks very level to me. I mean, we've got to be with, and that's my feet on that front side, so my head will be up a little bit. I'm okay with that. So you guys can see Cybertruck, another advantage to the Cybertruck. Sorry, I just found a piece of glass I'm gonna pick up. Another advantage to the Cybertruck is the auto leveling. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Found me a spot and it auto leveled itself, brought the front suspension way up in the air and leveled itself almost 100%. But I do like a little bit of the nose down. And another thing is I want the tailgate low. I don't want to be trying to get up to something high when it comes to the tailgates. All right, guys, this is going to be our spot. I learned from a practice run, you set your tent up first so you can get to all the latches. If you open this guy up, you can't reach this latch over here. So let's do this. Whew, those are tough to do with one hand. There we go. One hand in it. All right, guys. Now it's just as easy as kicking it up. Look at that. Ooh. So we got our gas shocks here on the side that have lifted the tent up for me. Let's do this. There's like a little bit of fabric in there. There you go, you lock it in. We've got our little pillow that fills up with air. This is pretty neat. And we got our little compact air pump. This is pretty neat too. Comes with a bunch of different accessories. This is a flex tail, and I'll put a link to this as well in the description, but it comes with some different accessories in there. You can look online. Then you could push this on and it's got like a little flexibility to it, and now you just double tap the fan and it'll start up. So this particular tent came with the pad, Inspired Overland pad, and I'm going to show you guys just, it came with 2 fill points. Okay, these are for your shoes, so when you get to camp, pull those over and now you have a place to put your shoes so you don't crawl up in here with your shoes. And then there's 2 fill points. I don't know why there's 2, but basically you pop it open and then you pop it again, and depending on what you're doing, you rotate this around. So one side's to inflate and one side is to deflate. So right now I want to go ahead and inflate, so I'm going to spin it around. It's kind of loud. Okay, and see, now it's not leaking out. I'm going to take our boots off, and now I'm going to go ahead and put this up so we can see outside. Make sure we don't get any bugs in here, so we'll have a nice night's sleep. There you go. Now we're going to get this Urander sunshade out so I can stop burning my head. Here it is. Got the Urander sunshade up. Look how much shade it is providing. I think next time I'm going to bring the rug for the RV. I can lay it down so it's a nice clean spot to sit. Another adapter you can use for this little tiny pump is to pump up a smaller one like this. This is my camp pillow. Click this to release. Click it again to have it hold. Let's double tap the fan. Look at that, just push it and pull. Tap it once again. It does have a low mode. And put your little smiley face cap on, and that means you're sleeping well tonight. This, I guess you could use against your head, I don't know. But all that fit in this little bag here. Let me find it. Here it is. That pillow fits into this bag. But this, very compact, very comfortable because it has like an inset for your head. 2 different feeling, you know, if you like that. You could even put a pillowcase over this if you wanted. Moved a few things around. I got the solar panel over here. I can feel the heat radiating down that this is blocking right now. Absolutely love it. Giz loves it too. He's been enjoying the shade right here where Daddy's working. But I am still charging. I'm still running my cooler at 35 degrees on both. But look at this. 40 minutes it'll be fully charged, only at 150 watts, and using 43 watts to power the Bougie RV cooler. but you can see we're definitely gaining. We're at 84% capacity, and you can power anything you want, guys. USB-C 100 watt PDs, the regular USB A's. You got DC ports over here you can plug into with your cigarette lighter. You got the grounded plugs, the non-grounded plugs. You click if you want power there or there. This is really cool because whatever power I'm gaining today, I'm gonna have enough power to power my drone, my camera equipment. Originally had the Starlink on my dash, as you remember. Well, now I tried moving it up to the glass. So you can see it up here. I did a video of this, but I never posted it because as soon as I finished the video, I realized I didn't like it. So I haven't posted it. But my problem was I did run a DC cable directly to the Cybertruck, but the Cybertruck kept turning the outlets off and on when I didn't have control over it anymore. So I want control over when it's powered and when it's not. So I decided to go ahead and go back to the plug. And then I thought, you know, with all this overland camping, me being able to just remove the suction cups is easy. It's not even that hot, guys, and it's sitting in the sun. That's how protected all of this is, including that front windshield. I have a full film on that too. Lots of people have asked me where I've got that, not where I got it, but what material that is or who makes it. I will seriously find it this time and put it up here, right here. It's where that film, what type of film this is. Okay, so what I've done is I'm using the power outlet down here instead of under the armrest up here, because I wanted to be able to do just that. Pull this out, pull the power out. It went from 42 watts to 86 watts. That's a good jump. That means we got enough power to power the Starlink. Just kind of reset everything up again, just getting how I like it. And here's what I've done. So got the table all cleaned up, cleaned off. We got our stove up here. It's not 100% organized here, but got the water out of the sun that was on the Rotopax. Boiled a little water so that I could wipe down the table. Now I'm charging some of my camera equipment, getting it going, and some of my old GoPro. I've got a DJI drone here. I'm going to get in the air soon. We got this Anchor 737 unit that is charging off of the EcoFlow. EcoFlow is running a charger for my air pump. It's running the power for the awning when I turn it on. It's running a USB-C out to charge a battery pack. Then the battery pack is running its USB-C out to charge the GoPro batteries. And I've got Starlink connected, and I've got the 120 conversion for my bougie RV cooler as well, running in eco mode, and just still getting settled in here. This is fun. My daughter and her friend showed up. They're camping over here. Got another friend en route. That is when we'll get the fire going, get some brats going, get some steaks going, and we're gonna have a great time tonight. So hopefully we'll get you in on some of that as well. Solar here is at 91%. I set up these stairs here because we're gonna have to see how Gizmo can get up here, and these have like little platforms on them that are sturdy, and that should give him a place to put his feet and be able to get up to the top. When you work hard, you got to play hard, and this is part of my playing hard sometimes. We'll have a fire a little bit tonight, and we're charging some solar lights over there. Sweet, excited. This is fun. Okay, we're trying to get lights set up here. Here we go. Oh wow, we're gonna go around. Oh, slam the camera. Where is the on button? Here it is.
Nope, you fall.
Watch out!
Watch out!
The rock! Watch out! It's out of nowhere.
Where'd he come from?
Don't know. What are you eating? You eating some mac and cheese?
I mean old mac and cheese. I had to reheat it.
Ayla, you are making some amazing cheeseburgers. You want some cheese?
Let's go. I'm surfing the roof, bro.
You're gonna surf to the roof? No, you gotta.
I need a helmet for that.
You gotta get permission.
I do it with the helmet.
You gotta get permission first.
I need a helmet for a lot of things, and that's one of those things.
Jared needs a helmet.
For like life, just life.
Life requires helmet for this one.
I mean, the way I live life, yeah. Woo!
Where'd you put the cheese? Here it is. 1 for 2. You have them so close. I have to do 1 for 2. Paper's my nemesis.
Exactly.
There's alarms going off. I don't know what. Thank you. I got more mustard. This is pretty weak. I don't know how I got so dirty. I must be camping.
Good boy, you come when I tell you. You're so good. He's such a good boy.
Well, we had a lot of fun out here, guys. Last night we had a lot of fun. We got to shoot the bow, listen to a lot of music by the campfire, had a great time. First night sleeping in the tent, I'd have to say there's pros and cons to a rooftop tent. And my first night in there, it is a little, the wedge shape is a little small. If you are over 6 foot tall, you may want a little bit longer rooftop tent than this particular one here. But the way I sleep was really no big deal. I had Gizmo with me all night, made sure he was nice and warm. But I did learn that if I should have closed the front canvas, because that would have held some heat in. I was a bit cold on my head, and there was quite a cold breeze coming in. The stairs were frozen over this morning, but we got everything packed back up real nice. Every time I pack a little neater, lots of space left over, and that cooler is perfect for me. This storage option for the tow hitch is very nice, because you can just put all your wood on here and you have so much more storage. Compound bow is a lot of fun. We're tuned in. I was hitting targets at 50 yards, 40 yards, playing games. It was a great time. But another part of the rooftop tent is you just can't get out and go to the bathroom. You have to go down the stairs. So if you've had a few beers, be careful on a rooftop tent. This is just my honest opinion, but it's not real convenient to just open the zipper and walk out and go to the bathroom, right? You've got to kind of put your shoes on, unless you're okay with walking on the ladder without shoes, which is fine as well. All in all, I'd say it's pretty darn nice. I like the platform. I like that I'm not taking up any more space than my truck area is. Seen people online say, oh, it pops open in a minute, right, or less, but you packing it down, you've got to make sure the right bungee straps are on there to hold all the material in as it's closing. You've got some metal bars that you stick in the front to keep the flap open. I would say it's about the same amount of time as me doing a ground tent when it comes to putting it away, but maybe not. Maybe I'll get used to it and it'll go a little bit faster. It probably is a little bit faster depending on the type of tent you have, but who cares about what's really fast when you're camping anyway, right? I'm gonna spend a little bit of time in the hammock over here. I would recommend it. I think this is a great setup. I wish this was a hard shell, this Urander. I don't know why it's not. I thought it was a hard shell, but I don't think that matters either. It's not like you're gonna have that on all the time, and it's pretty easy to take off and on. Yeah. I mean, all in all, pretty happy. I'm about ready to set up some actual off-road trailing and see where we can get with the Cybertruck, with limitations of not having electric stations everywhere. And I'm also looking at some other options to extend my range with a high clearance short trailer that I have. And we'll see though. I'm not sure. This is all an adventure. Every day trying something new, exciting, and this is all new and exciting. This, like I said, first time I've spent the night in the tent, and I'm excited to spend many more nights in the tent. Great times out here with the Tesla Cybertruck and the fam, and it was another beautiful Colorado spring day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.